Since the beginning of the full-scale invasion, Ukraine has received various aid from its allies. It ranged from portable missile launchers to anti-ship missile systems and artillery units. Let's discover how such weapons have shifted the balance of powers and affected the perception of modern warfare. Subscribe to this channel to know everything about the most important fight for freedom of our days. When Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine early on February 24th, it used missile strikes, air bombardment, miles-long columns of trucks, and intense artillery shelling. The campaign was supposed to scare Ukraine into submission and capitulation in days. That didn't happen. There has not been a war like this in Europe since World War II. Experts predicted that wars would look different in our days.
Більше не буде так званих кінетичних воєн, коли одна армія б'ється з іншою безпосередньо, майже віч-навіч, з піхотою, танками та масивними артобстрілами. Сучасні конфлікти – це протистояння технологій, війна без пілотників та надточної зброї.
In its initial campaign to take Kiev, Russia largely relied on artillery and columns of armored vehicles, some stretching tens of kilometers long. At this point, help from Ukrainian allies consisted largely of portable missile launch systems like the Javelin and An-Law. These comparatively compact systems weigh around 20 kilograms, allowing a single person to operate them. Between February and April, in those first months of full-scale war, in the battle for Kiev, Ukraine demonstrated their efficiency. Imagine a long column of Russian armed vehicles, kilometers long. It moves slowly down the road surrounded by forest, the typical landscape of northern Ukraine. Up above, there is someone or something watching. The column is being surveilled by a Ukrainian drone, allowing the compact mobile groups of Ukrainian militaries to prepare an ambush. The Russian columns move forward, confident in their strength and number. But suddenly, the first and the last vehicles in the column explode. Ukrainian fighters have launched the rockets and then quickly retreated to the forest. Rumors say at this stage they often used quad bikes to get in and out quickly. Now the column is paralyzed. The vehicles cannot move forward, and they can't move backwards. Meanwhile, Ukrainians keep emerging from the woods, striking devastating blows to the outer edges of what's left of the column, then retreating again. This tactic played a major role in stopping Russia's advance on Kiev, but it also caused financial pain. The T-90, Russia's main battle tank, cost between $2 and $5 million. Compare that to the price of the $200,000 Javelin projectile or $30,000 to $40,000 An-Law used to destroy it. Oh, and it's not only soldiers. Have you heard about the Ukrainian postal worker who joined the army after the full-scale invasion and got his hands on an Igla-1 portable missile launcher? Well, he used it to shoot down a Russian Su-34 jet, worth tens of millions of dollars. For decades, tanks were considered a dominant element on any battlefield. However, the war in Ukraine has shown that they are vulnerable even in the face of a new record with the rocket launcher. When the Russians failed to take Kiev, they shifted their focus on Ukraine's south and east. Unlike the north, much of these territories are wide-open plains. The types of ambushes that work near forested suburban Kiev don't work as well here. The Russians also changed their tactics, showering everything in front of them with thousands of artillery projectiles to eliminate any possible threat from afar. The strategy entails completely destroying cities like Mariupol and Lysychansk before occupying them. To learn more, watch our video Art of Artillery. This is where new weapons supplied by allies were desperately needed. In the war's first phase, Ukrainian fighters proved their ability to use NATO weapons effectively, but to fight the next phase, they needed more. They needed heavy equipment. And finally, they started to get it. Nearly 250 units of American M777 and M109 howitzers, French Caesar, Slovak Zuzana II, German Panzerhaubitze 2000, and most importantly, the American HIMARS. Since arriving in June, American HIMARS systems have changed the situation on the front line more than anything else. HIMARS systems launch rockets from as far as 80 kilometers. It is possible to extend this even further, but Ukraine has not received long-range missiles yet. Just as crucially, the navigation system uses GPS, giving precision to within a range of a few meters. HIMARS strikes have distorted the enemy's command structure and crushed their supply routes and warehouses. Russians are so terrified of HIMARS systems that nearly every day their propaganda claims that Russian forces have destroyed them. For example, in mid-June, they boasted that they had hit an ammunition reloading vehicle for HIMARS. The thing is that HIMARS don't come with the reload vehicles, as they have an automatic reloading system. Ukrainian and American officials say that no HIMARS systems have been lost or damaged in Ukraine, and that each unit remains under Ukrainian control. In general, Ukrainians operate Western equipment with care. They understand that to win this war, these weapons are crucial, as well as mitigating Russia's ability to launch missiles from the Black Sea.
В Україну вже надійшли далекобійні антикорабельні ракети «Гарпун», які разом з українською подібною розробкою «Нептун», саме вона потопила російський флагман «Москва». Це дозволило відігнати ворожий флот від узбережжя. Проте українцям потрібна й більш протикорабельна зброя, аби остаточно убезпечити свої береги. І в ідеалі це експорт зерна через Чорне море, аби врятувати весь світ від продовольчої кризи.
Ukraine also needs anti-aircraft defenses. Realizing they have no chances in a direct confrontation, Russians have switched to a tactic of terror. Every day, Ukrainian cities, even hundreds of kilometers away from the front lines, are bombed with cruise missiles. Ukrainian anti-aircraft systems strike down most of the incoming missiles. However, the ones that reach their targets kill civilians all across Ukraine. A shopping mall in Kremenchuk, a concert hall in Vinnytsia, a bus station in Mykolaiv. And of course, Ukraine needs more drones. They function as the eyes of the artillery, helping it to strike farther and with higher precision. To learn more about drones, watch our God's View video. Ukraine is fighting, but it still needs the world's help. Western weapons in the hands of Ukrainians don't just strike the occupant, but can save civilians from the horrors others have gone through in the areas where the help didn't come on time. More and better weapons will help Ukraine win. Join the side of freedom. Donate, subscribe to this channel, and share this video to help Ukraine.